The Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, is planning a nationwide protest on February 4th, 2025 against the recent 50% increase in telecommunications tariff approved by the Nigeria Communications Commission, that's the NCC. The NLC has condemned the price hike, calling it insensitive, unjustifiable, and a direct assault on Nigerian workers and the general populace, who are already struggling with economic hardship. Now, the union's president, Joe Ajaero, has directed all NLC affiliates to mobilize their members for the rally and has also called on civil society groups to join the protest. The NLC is demanding an immediate suspension of the tariff hike and wants the government to engage in meaningful dialogue with stakeholders to revive the proposed tariff adjustment. Now, if the government fails to reverse the hike, the NLC has threatened to escalate its actions, including a nationwide boycott of telecommunication services and further mass action. The protest is seen as a warning to the government against imposing policies that exacerbate poverty and inequality. Now, joining me on the program this evening is Alex. That's Agwanwor. He's the NLC Chairman of Rivers State. He joins virtually. I also have Dr. Taofiq Raimi. He's a development expert and business economist and also a policy analyst. He joins virtually also from Abuja. Gentlemen, thank you for your time. Let me start with you.
Thank you.
Alex.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
There has been a directive from the national body. I know that you are the chairman of the NLC in Rivers State. There's a directive from the national body to embark on a nationwide protest on February 4. Is the Rivers State chapter falling in line, and what exactly do you hope to achieve?
Okay, thank you very much. I think I say this is a wake-up call on our own part, as being directed by the National Secretariat of the NLC as a result of a communique reached at a NAC meeting yesterday. You are aware that when that announcement was made, about 50% increase in the telecommunication tariff, we immediately did a press release and also condemning that increase. And that also resulted to the NAC meeting, the highest organ of the union, where a communique was reached that come on the 4th of February, all the state council should mobilize to make sure we go on a protest in regards to this. I think for us in Rivers State, we are absolutely ready to carry out that directive, because by tomorrow we'll be having our state executive council meeting tomorrow to secretary our members and also mobilize them against Tuesday. You know, this is very necessary because of the impending hardship and I would say more burden, financial burden, that this tariff increase will bring onto the workers of Nigeria. You know that everybody uses telecommunication, either you're making calls or through data, and we know the importance of it. And if decisions will be coming to increase such a tariff, I think every stakeholder will be involved. And government should also take cognizance of the fact that the impact of this on the masses. Having experienced a lot of government policies that have impacted negatively on the pocket of the masses in terms of our income, our wages. You know, government bringing this kind of policy again will also add more injury to already the one we already have. We're trying to heal as a result of the minimum wage increase. I see that even with this tariff now, the minimum wage increase will be eroded immediately. At the end of the day, you will find out that all workers are coming to square one.
I mean,
the impact will be so enormous, and
you've spoken the mind on behalf of the mass public. I mean, you try to reflect the mind of Nigerians, what they're going through, and trying to justify the reason for the protest. But I think I should come to Dr. Raimi, who is a development expert and also a business economist. Let's look at it from the angle of these telecommunication companies themselves, these telcos. many of them are arguing or saying that they cannot continue to exist in business, given the current economic reality, the fact that, number one, the price of the dollar to the naira right now, and also some of the policies put together by the current administration, it's impeding and affecting their business operation. They spend in USD and earn in naira, and for that reason, to stay in business, there's a need for the hike. I think we have a bit of connectivity issues with Dr. Raimi. Let me come back to you, Alex. For many Nigerians, they would say that this is not the first time NLC would call for either a strike or a protest. But at the end of the day, it's either they call it off 24 hours before the D-Day, or maybe nothing really substantial comes out of it. So for many, they feel that this might just be another waste of time.
I think, for Nigerians, I will say that we are not particular about what Nigerians or may think about labor actions or thereabout in terms of this protest. Our interest is how it affects our members. And I can see that we're mobilizing our members and the civil society groups that are also in tune with our own agenda. So I think in terms of protests, of recently in this current administration of Comrade Joe Ajaero, I don't think that Nigerian Labour Congress in any way have called for any protest, and we renege on any protest. If you talk about calling for a strike action, industrial action, where the union, the central union have been engaged at the national level, and based on that engagement, and we are asked to suspend the action. It's a different ballgame, because in terms of industrial relations, there are rules. When there's an engagement, nobody wants to go on strike. All of us know the impact of strike. So, but when there's opportunity to engage, I will not tell people that strike is not an end, it's a means. Always want to go on strike. That means we are looking for a means to communicate, to discuss, to engage. So it's not completely that it must impact on strike action. If you call for a strike action, if there's engagement, a very reasonable one, I think there's need for us to engage. It is better. There's no war that you cannot win any war, any battle in the war front. It's always on the table. So for us, we believe in that engagement. So if there's opportunity, we take advantage of it. And it does not matter what anybody may say. It's not about compromise. It's the rule of the game.
All right. We'll go on a quick break, Alex. Once we return, we'll look at this also from a broader perspective as regards what we hope to achieve once this happens and other matters arising. But stay with us. We'll be right back. Many thanks for staying with us. It's still Politics HQ on News Central Television. And we're looking at, of course, the call for protest by the NLC in reaction to the increase, 50% increase in telecom, of course, services across Nigeria. I still have my guests with me. I have Alex Agwanwor, is the NLC Chairman, Rivers State, and also Dr. Taofiq Raimi. He's a development expert, business economist, and policy analyst. They joined virtually. Thank you for staying with me, gentlemen. Now, Dr. Raimi, I'd like you to speak from the angle of the corporate, or from a corporate perspective, the business owners, the telcos. Is there any justification for this review in services by these telecommunication services or providers?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. Honestly, you can imagine what happened a few moments ago while you wanted to connect to me, how the internet service was lost. And this is kind of low quality or poor quality service that most Nigerians have been experiencing over the years. And it is not justified. And one of the main reasons is the fact that the operators themselves have complained over the years of the need to upgrade their telecom infrastructure. Also, they are spending quite a lot of money on energy. Most of the telecom towers are being powered using diesel. their operational costs have increased, and in fact, most of them are saddled with a lot of, multiplicity of taxation, about 39 different taxes and charges, from federal to state to local government.
39 different taxes.
So I think
Sorry, I need you to stress on that. You said 39 different taxes on each telco.
Yes. When you look at the various charges that these telecoms have been paying over the years, there are reports and studies that have put them at about 39. And I believe when you look at the current tax reform that we have discussed severally in the last 2 months, one of the aims of that tax reform is also to streamline this multiplicity of taxes. And so the federal government has done well, the president has done well in that tax reform, if it comes to life eventually. So the point I'm making is that the telecoms sector must be made to survive. It's been tough for them over the years. The last time we had the current regime of tariff was in 2013. Let's face it, even the labor, their own salary and wages have not stayed at the same spot since 2013. Even the refinery, the oil and gas sector has experienced over 500% increase in the last 18 months. I am a consumer myself. I will feel it. I own different kind of businesses. My businesses will feel it, but the reality must be faced if we want survival of these operators.
But don't you also think, sir, don't you think that 50% is pretty much a cutthroat?
No, when you look at, I think we must bring this to Naira and Kobo. 50% of what? I think that is the place to start. We have 3 components of these communication services. We have phone calls, which currently is at about 4 Naira 60 kobo, and then that is what we are saying, what they are saying will go up to about, 6 Naira 40 kobo to 9 Naira 60 kobo. The SMS, that's short messages, will go from 4 Naira to 6 Naira. That is per SMS. Then the data will go from 350 Naira gigabyte to about 525 Naira per 1 gigabyte. The current rate across all these 3 communication services in Nigeria is one of the cheapest in the entire African country. In fact, Nigeria is second to Malawi in terms of the rate of tariff. Why I do not work with any or for any of the telecom companies, I'm a development expert and I'm a business entrepreneur, and I know that for a company to remain in business, you must meet your cost of production. You must be able to make some marginal profit. If this does not happen, the company will fold up. You remember that a number of foreign companies left Nigeria in 2023. Even in 2024, we have incidences of some companies leaving Nigeria. The current federal government should not allow that to happen. And that is why I believe that listening to the operators, the issue of forex, accessibility to forex, which they need, moving a lot of equipment for upgrading of their facility, and also the operational costs that we acknowledge have moved from where it used to be to where it is now. I think there's a lot of merit in this argument.
Okay,
however,
in 30 seconds, however.
Yes, however, there are still room for dialogue. I still believe that there are room for advocacy. There's still room for even improvement in reducing cost of production by these operators.
I'm sorry.
Both from the side of government.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Operators.
Okay, great. Because we're really pressed for time, we need to go. I'd like to take Alex, your reaction, 30 seconds. And the fact that some Nigerians are saying that, look, is Telecom Tariff a reason to even go on protest when there are more grievous issues like food, the price of food and petrol, for instance. Those are pretty much fundamental than the price of data, calls, or even SMS. 30 seconds, your reaction to that.
Okay, thank you very much. You cannot ignore the fact that we're in a Gen Z generation. And this Gen Z generation is all about telecommunication. It's all about information technology. So from what we are seeing here, the interest is all about profit maximization. So if we say about improving infrastructure and the rest of them, I think that the issue of telecommunication challenges is not only prevalent in Nigeria, globally, it's there. But if they are talking about expanding infrastructure to reach out to rural communities, to make sure they reach out to those who don't have access to this communication, we are not totally against the increase. There is need for improvement, but the tariff of 50% is very high. That's why we have concern. And that's why we also state that all stakeholders are supposed to be involved in that conversation to know how they come about to this 50% tariff increase. It may look the margin may be small, but if you look at the multiplicity of it, in terms of making calls, in terms of data usage, you also find that Nigerians will be spending more.
Okay, Alex.
Expected.
Okay.
With the look for us, this period, yeah.
Alex, I'm sorry I have to interrupt you because we need to go.
This hardship, economic, okay.
I'm really sorry I have to interrupt you and come in here, but we need to go. Thank you so much for your time on the program. Alex is actually the NLC Chairman, Rivers State. We also had Dr. Taofiq Raimi, a development expert, business economist, and policy analyst, who also joined virtually. Once again, gentlemen, thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure. Now, in case you missed out on today's episode, you can actually catch up on our YouTube platform. That's News Central TV. You can also choose to follow us across social media with the same handle on your screen there, News Central TV. You can choose to follow me personally at Agwanwor at Digboyi. Till I come your way tomorrow, good night.